All right, let's talk about a problem that quietly drains budgets, even in the most buttoned-up tech organizations, those sneaky, hidden cloud costs. So in this explainer, we're going to go hunting for them and, more importantly, architect an automated solution to stop them for good.
So I've got a question for you, and I want you to be honest. Are zombie costs eating your cloud budget? It's a pretty intense term, isn't it? But it's perfect because it describes those charges that just keep coming back, month after month, for resources that aren't doing anything useful anymore. They are literally the ghosts in your cloud machine.
And who's to blame for all this? Well, it's these things we call orphaned resources. Just think about it for a second. A developer spins up a virtual server for a quick test, or a project team grabs a bunch of storage for a proof of concept. The project ends, the developer moves on to the next big thing, but what about the resources? Yeah, they often get left behind, just running silently. No owner, no purpose, just a ticking meter adding to your monthly bill.
Okay, so that brings us to mission number 1, hunting down these zombie costs. And look, this isn't just about tidying up. It's about uncovering a really significant hidden financial drain that's messing with your efficiency, your security, and ultimately your team's ability to innovate.
To really get a handle on this, I want you to put on the right hat for a moment. You are a senior multi-cloud architect. You've got the skills and the responsibility to design systems that aren't just powerful, but also efficient and, self-governing. This is bigger than saving a few bucks. This is about architectural excellence. So how in the world do we solve this? Well, the trick is you fight automation with automation. The real solution is to build intelligent systems that manage the life cycle of our resources for us. This becomes our toolkit for preventing waste and, honestly, for making our entire operation run so much smoother.
We're going to build this solution using 3 really powerful core automation patterns. It's a great strategy. First, we'll lay the foundation with tag-based policies. Then, we'll build on top of that with some scheduled functions. And finally, we're going to lock the whole thing down with drift detection. Together, these 3 things are a game changer for lifecycle management.
So let's dive into pattern number 1, tagging policies. Look, the principle here is actually super simple. You can't manage what you can't identify. Getting your tagging right is the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. It's all about making every single resource accountable.
And the real key here, as you can see, is to make these tags specific and machine readable. Instead of something vague like user Jane, a full identifier like owner Jane.do gives you clear accountability. And a specific TTL, or time to live date, instead of a useless note like delete soon, lets a script know exactly when it needs to take action. This is how we turn simple labels into seriously powerful triggers for our automation.
So once you get that consistent tagging in place, you can start building policies that act on that metadata. For example, you could have a policy that automatically archives any storage volume the moment its TTL date has passed. Or maybe it sends a warning for any resource that's missing an owner tag. Basically, the tags are doing the driving here. All right, this leads us right into our second pattern, scheduled functions. And I gotta say, I love this metaphor. Just think of these as your automated cleanup crew. They're working 24/7 in the background, making sure your environment stays tidy, efficient, and cost-effective.
And how it works is just this really simple but powerful loop. First, you've got a trigger, maybe a timer that goes off every 24 hours. Second, a function. Think AWS Lambda or an Azure function kicks in. It scans your environment looking for things that violate your policies, like resources with expired TTL tags or no owner. And finally, it takes action. Either it pings the owner to take a look, or if the policy is clear, it just deletes the resource. Simple as that. Okay, our third and final pattern. Now this one's a little more advanced, but trust me, it's absolutely critical for any mature organization: drift detection. This is all about making sure that what's actually running in your cloud, the reality, perfectly matches what you plan to run. So to really get what drift is, you have to think about 2 different states. You've got your defined state, that's your blueprint. That's your infrastructure as code, like your Terraform or CloudFormation files. It is the single source of truth. Then you've got the actual state. That's what's live in your cloud right this second. Drift is any difference between the two, and it's almost always caused by manual changes somebody made on the fly. And these little manual changes, they're really dangerous. They can open up security holes, break things, and, you guessed it, create even more orphaned resources. Drift detection tools automatically scan for these differences, they flag them, and then they let you either roll back the change or update your code to match. It's all about keeping your blueprint and the actual building in perfect sync. So, after all that, why does this matter so much? Well, the payoff is huge. First off, and this is the big one, you stop wasting money on zombie costs. But it goes way deeper than that. You dramatically cut down your security risks by getting rid of unmanaged, unpatched resources. You make your teams more agile because a clean, well-governed environment is just so much easier to build on. And finally, you get consistent governance that works across all your clouds: AWS, Azure, GCP, the whole shebang.
And that really brings us to the big picture. I want to leave you with this thought. Once your automated cleanup crew is running, your policies are being enforced, and your whole environment is secure and efficient, what will you and your team build with all the time, the money, and the mental energy that you've just saved? Because that is where the real innovation begins.